Hello everybody, my name's Andrew and welcome to Impact Damage. Once again here with Mike and
how's it going, guys?
This is, as we said before, going to be a recurring series on this channel. Thank you to the magic of editing. This episode is being filmed like a month and a half after the first one.
Give or take.
And by magic I mean sheer laziness.
Well, we've been busy.
Well, no, I mean sheer laziness of me editing the first episode.
Yeah.
Because it actually only came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who the lazier person is because I don't edit. So.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, so yes, we're back. Unfortunately, we have a few things to talk about today.
Yes,
First
sir.
of which is going to be a little update on our own cars. Good Lord, I don't know why that was so hard to say.
You're losing it, Andrew.
Yeah, we're not off to a good start. We're 30 seconds in.
No, we're doing great.
So, you just told me the other day, next weekend, you were going to go buy a set of wheels for your truck. Yeah.
Yes, I am buying a set of wheels. After a full hour and 20 minutes of me saying how I need to be financially responsible.
Yeah.
And that I'm getting married and then I have all these new priorities. Yes, I just bought wheels.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing, by the way. Since the last episode, he got married.
Yes. I am married now. I have sworn in my Minister of Finance.
That's a good term.
Yeah, she has taken over all the accounts.
Yep.
And I now have to submit formal requests to do anything.
Yeah.
No, not really, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, my...
So yeah, congratulations
Thank
on that,
you.
by the way.
Yeah, appreciate it. The wheels are getting married.
Well, getting married. But also congratulations on going against everything that we said in the last episode.
Yeah, that is very true.
So.
But yeah, just some nice off-road wheels that I found off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
I think they're a pretty good deal.
Yep.
My 2018 Tundra, as probably previously shown, is bone stock. It's not even a TRD off-road, which I'm a little sad about. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would have gotten one given the option, but that one was kind of what it was the option.
It was, it was
the only option.
It was available.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So I'm gonna be putting some nice wheels on it. I have some good tires for it. I'll be lifting it here pretty soon as well. Hopefully more of that to come. Again, I need, again, this is what happens when you get married is you can't just buy everything that you like. You have to start with one and then you wait and then you buy something else.
Well, because we were also just talking at work yesterday about how you're going to try to buy a house this year.
Yes.
So.
And by try to buy a house, I mean, I've already decided I'm not going to buy a house this year.
Well, I'm not completely set on it yet, but I think I'm probably going to try to buy a piece of property of my own in this coming year. But
that'd be fun.
As opposed to just everything that my family has, which is what I've been filming on before. But
well, because then I won't feel bad if I go out there and I do donuts.
Yeah. Well, no, you can do donuts on my mom's too. She doesn't give a shit.
There we go. See? That's recorded, by the way.
Or, well, actually, no. Lynn would almost certainly let you.
Yeah. Well, Lynn would let me, but if he didn't know, I would absolutely be shot at before.
Oh yeah.
Before it was revealed that I'm a friend.
Yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, things are happening with the Tundra.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. I'm excited. I mean, wheels and tires is the easiest way to transform the way your car looks. So.
Yeah, I mean it's a simple modification, but it will look really nice. So you're driving what to Lynchburg?
Yeah, I'm driving to Lynchburg, Virginia,
which is about 2.5 hours from here.
Yeah. So we're in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Actually, technically, we're in Chapel Hill right now.
Yeah, we are technically in Chapel Hill.
At my dad's house, but anyway.
But Virginia isn't too far away. That's not as crazy as I guess other places. So we'll be myself will be driving up there to pick up those wheels hopefully before the next episode.
Well, no, you will have gone and gotten them, but you may or may not have them installed.
Yeah, maybe not.
We'll see.
Yeah, I just got to figure that out.
Are you gonna have somebody at work do it, or are you gonna have somebody at work install them, or?
I don't know. I don't know yet. The thing is, they are off-road tires.
Yeah.
And, if I can get someone to volunteer to do that, sure. If not, I might just throw them at a shop. It's not expensive.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But also the other thing I wanted to mention is the fact that your tires are from Jordan.
Yes.
So when I had my Ram 1500, I bought a set of wheels and tires. I never did anything with them because I got rid of the truck first. But I sold my wheels to somebody else that we work with, Jordan, who had just bought a Ram Rebel at that point, to put them on his truck. He decided that he was not going to buy my tires because he bought a set that were slightly smaller, and I think slightly cheaper too. And then he put those tires on it for like a couple weeks and then decided he wanted bigger ones.
Yes.
So he ended up buying the exact same tires that I had before, which I sold mine on Facebook, which was easy. But he ended up with the exact same tires that he could have bought from me in the first place.
Yes. Which is hilarious.
Yes. So now he sold his original set of tires to you.
Yes. So due to the magic of the lack of self-control of my friends,
yes,
I have gotten a screaming deal on both wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And then also Jordan just recently sold his truck with the other wheels and with my wheels and the other tires on it. So my wheels are now to a third person, not somebody from work this time. But
no, they don't get to stay in the family this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but very very interesting though. He is now looking at a FJ Cruiser.
He bought one actually.
Oh, he bought it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got one. He had it shipped up here from Texas actually.
Really?
I don't know where in Texas, but I don't know if he's driven it to work yet. I don't know, but anyway, it's here allegedly. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But so he's got an FJ Cruiser now, which is fun.
And of course, as is tradition with any of us, the first thing it needed was a clutch. Immediately, yeah. It immediately needed a clutch.
That's fun.
He didn't even get to drive it before he knew it needed a clutch.
That's fun.
He made it about 10 miles more than I did.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we're doing great.
It's a good thing both of my cars are automatic. So I don't need to do that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your car.
Yeah, I was going to say, the update on my car, though, I now have 2 cars that leak oil.
I didn't know you were going to go straight to that.
Well, yeah. So the Subaru, I knew leaked oil when I bought it because it's a 15-year-old Subaru. And
shocked it runs.
It actually runs pretty well, to be fair. It's in pretty nice condition. It needs some small things, but that, I'm okay with that leaking a little bit because, whatever. I just got over having COVID, which is also part of the reason we haven't recorded for a month and a half.
Yes.
Because he was gone for 2 weeks getting married, and then I got sick. I was supposed to be going to Atlanta, but then I got sick too. So that was fun. But yeah, I ended up going to Charlotte to see my friend Evan, who you haven't actually seen on this channel, but his car has been on this channel. He's the one with the GLI. And
I remember Kevin.
Huh?
I remember Kevin.
Yeah, Evan.
Evan.
Yeah, well, one of the two.
I'm a great friend.
Anyway, so I went to Charlotte, and then I was going to go to Atlanta after that. I ended up just turning around and coming home because I woke up the next day and felt like absolute death. Didn't actually take a COVID test until Wednesday because I didn't really think anything of it initially. But yeah, so that was good. I was out of work for a week, but I feel fine now. Honestly, I still haven't had a whole lot of energy this week, but because I've never actually officially had COVID before.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't really know, how hard it was going to hit me.
Yeah. It affects everyone differently, but...
Yeah. But anyway, where I'm going with this is when I came back from Charlotte and got sick, I didn't drive my Audi for like 5 days, which is the longest it's gone sitting since I bought it. And the first day that I started feeling a little bit better, we put up Christmas lights outside the house. And I still didn't actually drive the car, but I noticed that there was a little tiny river of oil coming out from underneath it.
Wow.
It wasn't a big river.
I didn't know it was that bad.
It wasn't a big river, but it was more like a little stream. I mean, it was probably only that wide across, but it was just snaking its way out to the bottom of the garage. But
that's fun.
yeah, so I cleaned all that up and put a piece of cardboard down. It seems to be leaking inconsistently, though, which I don't understand.
I mean, who knows what it could actually be, but...
It's got to be something temperature sensitive, which is why it's inconsistent, I would guess. But either way, because I put a piece of cardboard down like a week ago, and there's only 3 spots on it as of now. So it's only leaked on 3 days. And they're not big spots either. They're only like that big maybe. But as long as it's not losing like a drastic amount of oil, as long as the oil level in the car is still fine, I'm honestly not going to do anything about it right now.
Fair enough.
I really don't care. But at the same time, it's a 4-year-old car. It really shouldn't be leaking oil like that.
No, but it is an
also
Audi.
a Volkswagen. Yeah. So there is that.
Audi, Volkswagen. Yeah. They don't love keeping their oil.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother's Jetta burns oil. Which is just as intended as well.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't that what the dealer actually said to him? Is that the oil that is burning is within standard?
Actually, it wasn't even the dealer. It was a shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So it was a shop that actually knows what they're talking about, too.
Oh, that's good.
And they were like, yeah, it's not a significant enough amount. It's fine for now.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. So anyway, that's our little update on our cars. Mine, I have 2 technically broken cars, but they're not actually broken.
No, they're not broken.
They're not
I'm not allowing you to count that as broken.
They're not as broken as your Corvette was.
No,
that's for sure.
That's real broken. Like,
I can still drive both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still drive both of them, and they're still nice. So anyway,
it is relatively interesting that since we've met each other, we've flip-flopped positions, having the more reliable vehicle.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it started out where I was in an F-150.
Yeah, we've also flip-flopped like types of vehicles several times. Because you had a truck and I had a BMW, and then I bought a truck and you bought a Corvette.
Yep.
And then you bought another truck and I bought an Audi.
Yeah.
And
oh boy.
Yeah. So
I don't think we're doing it right, but oh well.
Whatever. I'm probably going to lose a shitload of money on this Audi anyway.
Everyone's going to lose money on that. Which we've gone over. If you
in the next sometime in the next few episodes, we'll do another like car market update report, because even in the last month or so since we last filmed, it's started to change again pretty significantly. So we'll do that again at some point. But
definitely. Speaking
of, by the way, we got pretty good feedback on the first episode, I think, so far.
Oh, good.
We are going to talk about F1 again in this episode, and I got a comment or a question specifically about F1, so we'll address that. But overall, I think the first one did pretty well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can probably guess I haven't watched the first episode.
Well, that's fine.
The only reason being is just because I was busy getting married when it came up.
Yeah, because it went out like 2 days after you got married. So, and I've unfortunately watched the first episode like 3 times all the way through, editing it.
Yeah.
Which is why it took. By the way, for those of you that have never experienced this before, you may or may not be shocked to find this out, but depending on how much you know about like video production. But the first episode, the reason it went out on a Tuesday, it was supposed to go out on a Saturday, was because the file for it was 57 gigabytes.
That's so bad.
And even with my half-decent internet, it took legitimately a day and a half to upload to YouTube off of my computer. So that's why I didn't go out on a Saturday, like, because I've decided recently that I'm going to start putting videos out almost every Saturday if I can, because they usually tend to do better view-wise on Saturdays for whatever reason. But that's why it went out on a Tuesday.
That's all right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
let's get into...
Well, can I tell you real quick the vehicle that I saw today?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You mentioned that.
Yeah. So this is a very old car. It's something I'd be shocked if you could guess it, but we're driving around getting our Christmas tree, Barbara and I, and driving around Chapel Hill, Lake Jordan, Cary, Raleigh. You do see some pretty nice cars.
Yeah.
There was an M3 competition that I was driving around for a while, new Golf R. But what I saw,
I've actually seen a new R yet.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a guy in my apartment complex that has one. Yeah.
That's good.
His license plate says check engine light. Yep.
Again, with the broken Volkswagen Audi theme.
Yeah. A true a true enthusiast.
Yes.
But anyway, so I saw a Dodge Ram Little Red Express.
What even is that?
You don't know what that is?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so
This is actually a great segue, by the way, into what we're talking about today.
Yes, I know, right?
Unintentionally.
Yeah. So unintentionally, the theme of this episode was going to be lesser to unknown cars that have been built recently.
Yeah, we both came up with a list of cars from the last like 20 years or so that we think the other person won't know about.
Yeah.
And turns out we just have another one now.
Yeah, yeah. So to be fair,
hang on, I'm going to Google that real quick.
While you Google it, I will also be explaining it probably incorrectly, so please correct me later on. The Little Red Express was made in the 70s.
Okay.
It was given absolutely bombastic styling. So the exhaust raised up over the cab like a semi-truck.
It had stacks.
Yeah, it had stacks before 16-year-olds thought stacks were cool. And it had pretty big motor. I don't know the actual displacement of the motor or anything like that. What I do know is it was the fastest pickup truck for a long time. It might have been the fastest pickup truck until the GMC Cyclone.
Really?
The Cyclone might have been the next truck to beat it 0 to 60.
Huh.
Yeah. Regular cab, short bed, the way most of them actually were back then. Lowered, but it still had a lot of rake because that was the style back then, was to shackle up your muscle cars and pickup trucks.
Yeah.
But this one was in pristine condition. Only red, of course. But that was a very interesting find. Barbara, of course, was not enthusiastic about it in any way, shape, or form.
That's okay. Yeah, so I just Googled what engine was in it. It has, may still have, depending on what previous owners have
what's been done
to it. But from factory, it had a 360 cubic inch V8 that made it 225 horsepower, which is not a lot by today's standards, but back then, I mean, in 77 or 78, whenever this thing came out.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't realize it was that late. But yeah, I mean, 225 horsepower in 1978, it probably, and again, you have the computer, so please prove me right. I believe that was the fastest production pickup truck for a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't Google that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yes, do take my word for it, internet.
Or Google it yourself.
Yeah.
You have a phone.
Tell me I'm wrong, please.
You have a phone. Look at it. And leave it in the comments. Anyway, but yeah, that's a great segue, like I said, into what we were actually going to talk about today, which was completely unplanned. So thank you for that, by the way.
Of course.
Because I was struggling to find a segue here, but anyway, here we are. So we just, like I said, came up with a list of a couple. I think we'll do 5 apiece.
Sure. I'll pick my top 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got a lot more than I do.
Yes, but my first caveat will be a lot of these are like one-off pickup trucks.
Okay,
which,
yeah, that's fair.
Which may not be fair to you.
Yeah.
But Chevrolet, Dodge, Ford, I'm not going to totally give it away. They were doing some crazier things. They had a lot of optimism in the early 2000s. Of course, we all know how that went. But, so I think I have some good stuff. I think I have some fun stuff for you. And hopefully you have some fun things for me.
Yeah. Well, I've already, just from when we planned this episode, we've already said a couple of them to each other.
Yeah.
But I am gonna mention one or two of those and just act like you didn't hear them before.
Sure, of course. Well, because you did get me on at least one of them. Yeah.
So actually, the first one that I got him on, that I was gonna bring up, was the Buick Cascada.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, we actually saw one yesterday.
So here's the thing. I have seen a Buick Cascada before.
Yeah.
I have. I had no clue it was a Buick Cascada.
Yep.
It could have driven by me a million times.
Yeah.
And that would have been it. But of course, there are so many of those kind of cars that the average person will completely forget about. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure no normal person remembers that Nissan made a convertible Murano.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, I saw one of those the other day, too.
Really?
Yeah. I was behind it on 440.
Yeah. Technically about as rare as seeing a Ferrari F40.
Yes.
So consider yourself lucky for seeing that vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, also in the same thing, like the Audi A3 convertible.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw one of those?
Pretty rare ride. I guess in the same vein, was it Range Rover made a Evoque?
Yeah, Evoque convertible. Yep.
So fun fact, I used to live in Houston, Texas, and if you go through the well-off suburbs of Houston, the Range Rover Evoque convertible is not rare.
Really?
No. It is actually one of the official vehicles of 16 to 18-year-old high school girls.
Well, I mean, that's the demographic I would expect, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's in close running with the Jeep Wrangler, Volvo XC60, any of those nicer, small premium SUVs.
Yeah.
Of course, every guy's driving around in an F-150.
Yeah. Yep.
Or a Jeep Wrangler. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which is also a convertible SUV, technically.
Yeah, yeah.
But
the only successful one.
Yes. Well.
Dare I say that.
Well, also the Bronco, but.
Yeah, the Bronco.
Yeah.
But the Bronco had a long hiatus.
True. Yeah, the Wrangler's been more consistently successful, that's for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, that was, I mean, because when you think of convertibles, you're usually going to think of, in that sort of size class anyway, you're going to think of like the Z4, or the SLK. You're not really going to think about the front-wheel drive Audi A3 convertible.
No, not as much.
Or a Buick convertible.
No. No.
So the Buick Cascada, for those that don't know, is actually a Vauxhall or an Opel. It's a European car that they decided to sell here for a couple years, and it was a massive failure, as you would expect. But they did bring it here for a couple years.
Yeah.
So, that was the first one I was going to bring up, and like I said, we saw one the other day, so that kind of ruined that one. What's a good one you think you've got?
All right, I'm going to start you off with an American car.
Okay.
From the early 2000s.
All right. I've got a couple of those as well, actually.
So, you are familiar with the Cadillac STS, correct?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the Cadillac STS V? No,
but I can imagine what it was.
Yes. So
it probably had a Corvette motor in it.
Yes. It did. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know if it did. Because it might have had a North Star.
Was it the North Star?
It might have been a North Star. It was either a North Star or the CTS-V's LS6.
Right.
So, to catch y'all up on that, while Cadillac was making the CTS-V, which is the more well-known version of that, Cadillac did make a high-performance version of the STS, which, of course, is normally considered the old man-mobile of that era.
Yeah, well, that and the DTS.
Yeah, and the DTS.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the STS was a rear-wheel drive.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that either.
Yeah. Unless, again,
it is North Star, by the way.
Oh, it is a North Star?
Yeah, but it makes almost 500 horsepower, though.
Jeez. Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
470 horsepower and 440 torque.
Wow.
Here's an Auto Trader article. I bet you this is by Doug DeMuro. The Cadillac STSV. It's not by DeMuro. Damn it.
How's it?
But it says the Cadillac STSV is a sports sedan bargain if you can find one. Because
that's great.
I just thought of Doug because he would write about this.
Yeah.
And he used to write for Auto Trader, but.
Mm-hmm. It is rear-wheel drive too.
Oh, well.
I was, and so do you want to know how I figured that out?
Figured what out? That it was
like when I first actually learned about the vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when I was doing my normal anything with a V8 rear-wheel drive car search, because as you do sometimes, sure. I was in Houston and there was one for sale in Dallas, Texas, at a enthusiast-oriented car dealership.
Yeah.
You know, they always had a bunch of Mustangs, a bunch of Camaros, normally a CTS-V or two, but as you're going down, you see CTS-V, STS-V. I was thinking, like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah. Huh. So Cadillac made a high-performance version of their STS, and I don't think anyone really realized.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't imagine that many people bought them.
No.
So,
well, I'm sure their demographic got in one and said, this is too uncomfortable. Why is it loud?
Yeah, why is it loud and harsh?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think you're right about that. I'm actually going to continue the Cadillac theme here, though.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring up the Cadillac Catera.
The Catera.
Because they had all these terrible little cars in that era. The Elante, they had the Catera, the DTS.
Now it's my turn.
But yeah, the Cadillac. What was the Chevy Cavalier based one that they did?
You are gonna have to search. Oh my goodness, this is atrocious.
Yeah, it is.
We're gonna have a picture of this up.
I'm gonna put up pictures of all of these.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, the Catera was like their entry level car in the early 2000s. It was actually rear-wheel drive too, which is kind of funny.
Was it?
Yeah. It was a V6, I believe.
I figured that would have been a.
But I believe
that would have been a Chevy Malibu.
Well, I think it was also a European car. I think it was an Opel something or other, like the Opel Omega or something like that.
Really?
I think it was an Opel.
So I've heard of the Opel Omega only through British Top Gear. There was no reference of it being a Cadillac in the United States.
Yeah.
And again, if I've seen one, I have erased it from my memory. And if you see it for the first time on this show, for good reason. I think it's very ugly.
Oh, the Cimarron was the other one that I was thinking of.
Cimarron, that's what it is.
That's what I was thinking of.
The Cimarron.
Yep, that's a good one too. But that was like in the 80s though, so that doesn't really fall into the. We decided when we were going to do this, we were going to try to keep it to like last 20 or 25 years. So, anyway, yeah, Cadillac Catera.
Cadillac Catera. Alrighty. So, I'm going to have to do a pickup truck for this one.
Okay.
So, you are familiar with the Dodge Dakota.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. So, honestly, not a very well-known pickup truck to begin with.
No, that's true.
They were known to be pretty bad. The biggest engine.
Especially the later ones.
Yes, the later ones were known to be bad. I don't know why I'm sitting here like this, like I look intelligent. However, there was a version made by Mitsubishi.
The Raider.
Damn it! Man.
No, you know what's hilarious is I'm just typing that under the list right now because I had a feeling you might be going there with that.
Damn it.
And as soon as I thought of the later Dakota, I was like, oh, they made a Mitsubishi version of that.
Damn it.
Well,
I'm trying to be cute and have all this build up. I'm just going to say the next one now. That ruined it. Okay,
well, no, you can keep doing that, but but that's the point of this though. Is we are going to get a couple of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's sort of a game. So But yeah, the Mitsubishi Raider was king of rebadged. Also, the Suzuki Equator.
Yes, but that's also on my list, and I was about to say it anyway. I wasn't going to try to do.
Although the Suzuki Equator was a Nissan Frontier, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. One of my good friends in college had one.
Really?
It was world famous.
What made him choose that over the Frontier?
It was cheaper than a Frontier.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep. If they are for sale, for some reason people don't realize that it is a Frontier.
Right.
So chances are you could have gotten them cheaper. Mm-hmm. I'm sure very weird people like us would now say, "Oh, that's even more rare."
Yeah.
You know, now they're going to bring a trailer for $35,000.
Yeah, like if I was looking for one of those, I would buy the Equator over the Frontier just because when was the last time you saw one?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
they are good little trucks though.
Yeah.
This has lasted a very long time.
Yeah, that's good. So since we're on now rebadged Japanese vehicles.
Oh no.
Sort of. It's not actually a rebadge, but it is a Japanese vehicle. The Hyundai XG300 and the XG350.
What? I'm trying to be genuine. I have no clue.
So
absolutely no clue.
Do you remember the Kia Amante?
Yes.
So that was the Hyundai version of that.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was a Hyundai version of that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The 300 and the 350. The 350 was the later one. They had a 3.5 liter V6 instead of a 3 liter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was Hyundai made a version of that, and it's one of those ones I honestly don't remember the last time I saw one. The reason I thought of it on this list is because I actually saw a Kia Amante the other day, though. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh, that's a good one. But then I remembered the Hyundai. So yeah, Hyundai XG300.
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, let's...
show it later. I'll be able to...
Well, it'll be up on the screen, but that doesn't help you now.
The Hyundai...
Here, this.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
Not a good looking car either.
No, it isn't.
But yeah. That's what that was.
Dang.
Yep.
I hope none of you guys knew what that was, by the way. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's going to be some guy watching this who's like, "Oh, my such and such used to have one of those."
Yeah, my uncle had an XG. I was born in an XG300.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, since you said that, I'm going to be mean.
Okay.
So I'm going to go... This is not a rebranded vehicle.
Okay.
There's no other version of it anywhere else. It's an American car.
Okay.
But although it almost sounds French. Do you know of the 2004-ish to almost current Penos Esperante?
No.
Yes. I got you on that one.
All right, let me look at this.
So start to look it up. So the person who invented this vehicle...
Good Lord.
Was this guy was a road racer.
Okay.
He built race cars, and he decided to enter one of the Le Mans GT series.
It looks like a Corvette from the side.
Quite inspired by a Corvette, actually.
But actually not based on a Corvette, though? It's actually like a whole...
it's its own chassis.
Okay.
Because he had to meet homologation regulations
okay.
to race his car.
Okay.
Yeah. So back then, you could get a 2-seat convertible V8 rear-wheel drive sports car in America that was not a Corvette or a Viper.
Yeah, or a Viper.
Okay, sorry, Vipers were V10, but still.
Well, yeah, close enough.
It's a very, very cool car, known for being a well-balanced, good handling vehicle. It's just that you could really never find him.
Yeah.
He made the bare minimum. I also believe he might have passed away. It wasn't the best story of how that car company came up. It definitely wasn't a success story. But it was a very interesting vehicle. To be honest, I only first heard about it through Forza Motorsport 2. It was a featured vehicle in Forza Motorsport 2.
See, I used to be, growing up, we always had PlayStations. So I was always a Gran Turismo kid.
Okay.
So I didn't actually get into Forza until, what was the first Forza? It was either Horizon 2 or Motorsport 5.
Okay.
Because I had an Xbox One. So
Yeah, well,
whatever the first one for that one was.
I think Motorsport 5 might have been your first one then.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that being the one.
But anyway, so I was always a Gran Turismo kid, so I wouldn't have known that. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking on Bring a Trailer, though, right now for these things.
I'm sure that's where you would need to find them. They used to be...
They're actually selling for decent money.
Yeah, they're not overly expensive.
Here's one for 9,000 miles for 65 grand, which is a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, you go back to this 2002.
Well, yeah, here's one, 38, 36.
Oh, man, they're a little bit older than I thought. I didn't even realize that.
There's one for, here's a couple for 29.5.
Yeah.
This was, okay, so this was before the market went crazy. These were from 2019. Mm-hmm. There's a couple for 30-ish, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a really cool car. I'm assuming the only reason why it didn't catch on is because, I mean, the C6 Corvette came out.
Yeah.
The Viper got restyled. Mm-hmm. I don't think it could have ever competed with those in terms of their notoriety, and just kind of faded into obscurity. Mm-hmm. But if I do ever get the chance to drive one, I'd be very excited. Yeah. Because they used to kick my ass in Forza. So that's...
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of faded into obscurity, this is actually...
I see what you did there.
This is a car that I think I've told you about before. Not recently, so I don't know if you'll remember it. But
I'm going to pretend I did.
Yeah. I think I've told you about it before because this is a car that my grandpa actually used to own, which does not make it a good car.
Oh, man. You told me this.
The Chrysler Cirrus.
See, the only thing I can put into my mind is the Concorde or the 300.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Cirrus is some horrendous adaptation of that.
So the Cirrus was, again, similar to the Cadillac theme, actually. The Cirrus was the smaller one.
Okay.
It had, I'm pretty sure they did a Dodge version of it, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would have been, what, the Intrepid?
Either that or the Stratus.
Yeah, Stratus,
one of
the Intrepid.
I honestly don't remember which one it was, but yeah, it was, again, terrible car.
I didn't even know what it was, but I can agree that it's a terrible car if it's a Chrysler from the early 2000s.
Yeah. My grandpa on my mom's side, my mom's father, he knows a lot about classic cars. Mm-hmm. He does not know anything about new cars. And he is notorious for buying cheap American cars that are usually terrible. Mm-hmm. So this was one of the ones he had along the line. He's had some decent ones here and there. Like at the moment, he has a Honda Accord, which is decent. But the Cirrus was an awful car. The only thing I remember about it was that it had the best fake wood grain I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll put a picture of it. Maybe it's not as good as I remember it, but I'll put a picture of it up too. Yeah. So.
Of all things to put effort into.
Yeah.
Fake wood grain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. The Chrysler Cirrus. Can't wait to remember that and then forget it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All righty.
You'll see one eventually and you'll be like, oh, that's what that is.
There you go. In someone's lawn.
Yeah. The next time you go to next time you go somewhere on the southern part of Texas.
Yes, yeah. That's where the Chrysler Cirrus is going to be because they just haven't rusted away yet.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know how many we have left.
I honestly haven't been counting.
No.
But, oh well.
So I'll give you what is probably a toss-up, but I don't think a lot of other people remembered this car. Mm-hmm. again, another American adaptation of another American vehicle, Cadillac ELR.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an easy one because that is. You remember how I said the other day we should do an episode on cars that we've almost bought?
Yes. Where are you going with this?
And I said I'd almost bought a Touareg hybrid.
Oh, yeah. You said Touareg hybrid.
The ELR is also on that list.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it is.
All right, we're going to save that story.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
We'll do a whole separate episode on that at some point. But yes, I do know way too much about the ELR because I thought it was actually kind of a cool car.
Did you?
I didn't think it was necessarily a good car.
You just thought it was interesting?
Yeah, I thought it was cool because it was interesting.
See, I thought the original Volt was ugly, but like made sense.
Yeah.
The Cadillac, I thought was ugly, overpriced.
I think the ELR is actually a good-looking car, though.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you at all.
I don't think it's pretty, but I think it's kind of good-looking.
I think it looked like they were going to style it, and they were using like the big like clay model. Mm-hmm. They were going to style it. They made it through 8 hours, and someone from the accounting department said, "You're done. Just ship it. I don't care what it looks like. You're done."
Yeah,
which is why it has 4 angles. I'm not a fan.
But yeah, for those that don't know, the ELR was also Doug did a video on the ELR like years and years ago.
Yeah, that
before he was
my case.
Before he was really big. But yeah, the ELR was based on the original Chevy Volt. Same exact powertrain. So despite looking sort of sporty and, it was a 2-door coupe and...
To some people.
Well, yeah. But despite trying to be sort of a luxury alternative, it still did 0 to 60 in like 8 seconds or something like that. 7.5, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was a horrendous vehicle.
Yeah, and it was also way too expensive.
Yeah, it was like $70,000.
Yeah, it was like 70 grand when it came out.
Yeah.
And then a couple years after they were failing to sell it, they dropped them all to like 50. Mm-hmm. So they were I'm sure they were losing money on every single one they sold.
Tons of money.
But even at 50, it struggled. And used, they're like 25 now.
Yeah. Well, so. They suffered the same fate as the XLR.
Yeah. Yep.
Which was the nicer, somehow more old man version of a Corvette. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it suffered because it just wasn't different enough from the car it was based on. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah.
And I don't think the XLR is a particularly unknown, but it was definitely forgotten because.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, think about it, like in 2005. You had the option of getting a 7-liter, 6-speed manual Z06 Corvette, or you would spend more money to get a automatic North Star V8 Cadillac XLR.
Yeah,
that's a tough sell.
Yeah, it is.
Because that was almost peak Corvette.
Yeah,
around that time, that was some
true.
of the best stuff that they were making. And whatever decision was made to put the North Star in it, I genuinely think that was it. Because the Chevrolet motors were so good, already known for being so good. It was a questionable decision, and I think the baby boomers have fully sided with their push rod single cam V8s.
Yeah.
And their Corvettes.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. So.
Also, can I say one more thing?
Yes.
We haven't had any overlay yet. You haven't.
Well, except for no, I guess you're right.
Yeah, we haven't had like
I got the
crossover.
Raider, and then I brought up the Equator.
Yeah, this is
which was on your list, but apart from that, no, we haven't. Mm-hmm. So that's good. Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't know. I have one more good one, so if you want to do one more.
Okay, I'll do one more. All right, it's also a GM vehicle. Well, actually, no, I've got 2 more.
You have 2 more?
Yeah, because I want to do this one, and I have another good one.
Okay, I have another one then that I
right.
can use. You're not going to know it, but
Well, that's fine.
yeah, it's
That's
kind of cheating.
the point of that's kind of the point of this whole thing. So
That's a good point.
it's another GM vehicle. It's a Saturn. So you're familiar with the Saturn Ion sedan, right? The Saturn Ion Quad Coupe.
The Quad Coupe.
Yes. So as opposed to the regular four-door Saturn Ion, they did a version that was sort of styled to be like a coupe, but it had doors like an RX-8.
Really?
Is the easiest way to explain it. Yeah.
Saturn Ion Quad Coupe?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Nope. Yeah, you got me on, because I've seen the normal one,
Yep.
but no, I didn't. The Quad Coupe.
Yep. And I think they did a Redline version of it too, which was like their sporty one.
We should have banned sub-brand GM vehicles. I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, so
I'm pretty mad.
we're gonna put a tally up here on the screen right now of how many of these cars that we've just done have been American. First of all.
Yeah, well, but that's not very fair, because there's all sorts of quirky European things. Like do you know what a Renault Espace is?
Well, yeah, of course, because that
Damn
was
it.
Top Gear.
Okay, I was saying.
They did that whole big thing with trying to turn it into a track car and all that.
Yeah.
That was but no, there's tons of, but it just so
Fiat
happened
Multipla.
that that's a classic. But no, it just somehow happened that we tried to come up with cars that, or at least I anyway, tried to come up with cars that people forgot about or wouldn't know about because they're bad.
Yeah.
And so
That's about right.
And so that kind of led me to early 2000s American cars, but also we've had a couple that were not necessarily bad, but also just GM cars.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, like the Panos, I wouldn't consider a bad car.
No, not at all.
It was just unknown.
Or I wouldn't say the STS V was necessarily a bad car. It probably wasn't the greatest car.
It was probably pretty interesting.
Compared to a European sports sedan, but I wouldn't say it was a bad car. It's still kind of interesting. So, what's your next one?
All right.
Is it also American?
What? No, it's not.
Oh, really?
No,
Look at that.
No, it is
Look
not.
at that. I spoke too soon.
Yep. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It is a 4x4.
Okay.
Isuzu V-Cross.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yep. The reason I know about that one is because I used to follow somebody on Instagram that had one.
Really?
Yeah.
You actually physically knew someone that had one?
Yes.
Wow. You know more than me then.
Yep. But again, when was the last time you saw one? Also, actually, no, on that, I think I saw one at Cars and Coffee recently.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple. I have.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, well, they made a fair amount of them, and to be fair, besides the crazy styling, they've tended to work.
Yeah.
They're not like total piles.
Yeah,
Like,
I've never really heard anything bad about them.
Yeah, no, you can take them off road. I mean, they're genuinely okay at off roading.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it is definitely a quirky car, though. But I think that's why I know about it, though, is because it's quirky.
I probably went too far, yeah.
Because that's usually what I'm into is like, VR6 Passat wagons and Subaru Bajas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you remember the W8 Passat?
Yeah.
That was for sale that I sent you?
Yeah.
W8 6-speed manual, 4Motion.
Yep.
All the car you'll ever need.
Pretty much. I mean, that really ticks all your boxes, unless you need to tow something big.
Or if you want it to run.
Well, there is that. There is that too. But it ticks all my boxes anyway.
Yes, it definitely ticks your boxes.
So,
your boxes have been ticked.
Yeah. So the last one, I wasn't going to mention this one because it's another one that I mentioned to you the other day. So Amazon uses Brand ProMaster vans pretty regularly to deliver.
Yeah.
But that made me think of the Ram cargo van.
Yeah, the Ram cargo van.
Which was actually a Dodge Grand Caravan as a cargo van.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a dedicated workman's Grand Caravan, but because they had just made the Ram name, they decided that would be a great thing to do for the Ram name.
Because it competed mainly with, I think, like the Transit Connect.
Yeah.
And like the smaller vans, you know, or like what was the Chevy one? The City Express.
City Express.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was actually a Nissan, but anyway. But yeah, so that's another good one though that you never see them.
No. Well, and to be fair, I wouldn't even know if I saw them because they didn't have too much different on the outside.
No, because it was just a Grand Caravan.
Dodge Grand Caravan. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a caravan with a different badge, effectively, and no seats.
I think it said Ram on the side.
Yeah, it said, I think it said Ram CV on the back. But other than that, I mean, it's just a caravan with no seats.
I've seen them. They've been government vehicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've definitely.
That makes sense because
definitely seen city Ram Ram cargo vans.
Yeah, that would make sense because they're cheap.
All right.
So.
Are you done bullying me?
Yeah, that was my last.
Yeah.
That was my last good one, and I ruined it because I mentioned it to you the other day. Same with the PT Cruiser GT convertible.
Yeah.
But
so, I'm glad you're done now because now I'm gonna have one more revenge shot.
Okay.
So, and this is again thanks to the glorious tragedy of General Motors in the early 2000s. I have one more.
I thought we were going to get away from GM for the end of it, but no.
No. So, you are familiar with the different trims and levels of their trucks and SUVs, right? You have like 1500.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, so you have like the Silverado 1500.
Right.
You have the Suburban 1500. There was a Suburban 2500.
Are you going to bring up the Quadra-Steer?
I'm not. I don't. I want to leave. I'm not having fun anymore.
That just popped into my head.
Okay, that's it then. I have no imagination. This podcast
no, but it's
stupid.
It's a good one though.
And we're done.
Because most people wouldn't know about it. But yeah, that's there is a YouTube channel called Out of Spec. Well, he's got a guy called Kyle Connor. He's got a couple different channels, but he has one of those.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I remembered it. So yeah.
Yeah. So we are out of time today. Thank you for joining us. We do this show whenever we feel like it, and I don't have any friends.
Yeah, I'm back to just being a coworker now.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire you on Monday.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, I can't. I desperately cannot.
You outrank me, but you're not my boss.
That's a good point.
So yeah. Anyway,
I you know what though, I have to say I'm pretty impressed. You brought the Quadras here. I can't believe you sniped that.
If we had already talked about F1, that would be a great place to end this episode.
Yeah. Well, it might actually be though. I'm pretty sure we're at time.
Well, actually, we could save the F1 for the next episode.
We could, because there is a lot of juicy stuff going on.
That's true.
Yeah. We also need maybe a little bit of an intermission because I think my microphone was pointing downwards for at least 30 minutes.
Was it really?
Maybe.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out when we edit this.
Yeah, there we go.
And maybe it'll pick it up on my microphone. If not, or the audio for this will just suck. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
And I also need a bottle of water.
Yeah.
My throat's getting a little dry. So yeah, that's actually a great place to end this episode, as it turns out.
Oh man.
Oh God.
That was good though. That was pretty fun.
Good. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun looking those up. I do have, if I may just rifle through some of the things that I also had.
Yeah.
Silverado 1500 HD.
1500 HD?
Yep. So it was
that would have been a good one because I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. So that was 8-bolt axles and a beefier transmission on what was normally just the 1500 chassis.
Which generation did they do that on?
After the last OBS, so 99 to like 04.
Okay, yeah,
ish.
yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
so that generation. During that generation, there was also a 2500 light duty, which is weaker axles
right.
and a weaker transmission on what would be a 2500 platform.
Why would they build that though?
Why did they build any of the 12 cars we just talked about? They were looking for market share.
Okay.
You know, there has always been a defined mid-size, full-size,
Right.
3/4 ton, 1 ton.
Right.
And GM was splitting hairs. You know, they wanted to
Clearly.
see, you know, did people want a stronger 1500 for towing 8,000 to 9,000 pounds?
Yeah.
The answer is mostly no. People would
Yeah.
rather have a 2500 that could easily do it. Do they want something with a lot of payload that maybe couldn't tow a whole lot? No. People wanted both.
Right.
Because why wouldn't you just have both?
Yeah.
But that was their experimentation with that. Same thing as the Titan XD diesel.
Yep.
You know, that's the
Yep.
same thing. They wanted to try to split hairs and see who wanted that, but you know, the market's pretty established there, so
Oh, yeah.
those tend to not work.
Yeah.
I had the Crosstrek hybrid, something that was
Crosstrek hybrid. We had one of those at work.
yeah, we did.
Didn't we?
I think we
Yeah.
did. I just
That's-
didn't know about it until
Yeah.
a
Until
couple
then.
months ago.
Yeah.
And then I had some. I mean, honestly, all I had that were a couple of my favorite concepts, like
Okay.
the Chrysler V16 concept. That was a pretty cool thing. That was also a Forza Motorsport car.
Yep.
Cadillac El Mirage.
I can't actually picture that one, so I'm going to Google it.
That was another pretty cool one. That was a 2-door concept car that was supposed to be.
Oh, I know what this is. Yeah.
It was supposed to be, if it were made, a Bentley Continental, Rolls-Royce Ghost, like true luxury coupe competitor.
Yeah, but it was kind of styled to be like a modern Eldorado kind of thing, right?
Yes. And I thought it was one of the best concept cars that ever came out of Cadillac.
It is a really
especially.
good-looking car.
Yeah,
actually.
it was an amazingly good-looking car.
Yeah.
Had all the right proportions.
Yeah.
Never came to fruition. Cadillac decided to make whatever that thing was. the whatever. Catera, sorry.
Yeah.
They decided to make the Catera instead. So you're welcome, world. We don't get El Mirages.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, Cadillac also decided to have, I think it was Cadillac, I don't know if it was the CEO or somebody pretty high up at Cadillac came from Infiniti
Really?
within like the last 10 years or so. And that's where the names came from.
That makes sense.
Like all the ATS and CT4 and CT6 and whatever. So yeah, they decided to do that instead.
Fair enough. But yeah, plenty of cars that I didn't even know about, but
Yeah.
plenty of cars that have been forgotten. But luckily, in future episodes, we'll be talking about cars that you might know about. And,
Like
will actually be relatable.
Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah, and unless I talk more about my Subaru Baja.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Because, so actually, I know we're dragging on a bit at this point now, but my brother drove the Baja to school a couple days this week because his Jetta was getting some work done. And he told me that a couple of his friends, one of them was like, what the f is that?
Yeah.
Just had no idea what it
Yeah,
was.
that makes sense.
And then there was another one that it was like, he noticed that he didn't actually see the car, but he noticed that my brother had a different set of keys than normal. And he was like, oh, is that a Subaru key? And he told him what it was. And he was like, how did he find one of those?
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny when he told me about it.
It's always fun to see someone who like admires
Yeah.
weird things.
Yeah, definitely. But
But yeah, guys.
yeah,
Thank you.
that'll do it for this one.
Yeah.
So thank you as always for
thank you for watching.
tuning in. I think this episode will be a little bit shorter than the first one, which is what we're going for.
Yep.
Because I did get a few people tell me that the last one, they couldn't watch it all the way through because it was just too long, which is fair. It's completely fair. It was longer than we expected it to be.
That's completely fair. But I guess that's what happens when this is an idea of us just filming our normal conversation.
Yeah, pretty much.
It always tends to drag on.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, thank you for watching, as always. If you found this interesting or informative in some way, I don't know how you would have found this informative, but that's what I always say at the end of my videos.
Entertaining at least.
Yeah. If you, if there was a car that we missed that you think we don't know about, put it in the comments, because that'll be fun.
I probably won't know about it.
And I probably will by the sound, by the way this episode went.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you enjoyed it or found it informative, give it a thumbs up, or consider subscribing for plenty more content like this to come.
All right.